Good everyone, my name is Graphics. Today we want to solve another problem involving triangulation where we are told to develop or construct the full size pattern for the scoop with seam on AA, right? Now if you look at diagram closely, we are told to develop it. We should draw development of this given figure here. Now the first thing you have to do is for you to reproduce the figure, right? In order for you to be able to develop it. Now the first thing I will do is I'm going to draw my horizontal and vertical line in this manner, right? I'll draw my horizontal line in this manner, a long one this way, just faint line first, then a vertical one this way, and bring it down this way. You can see that, and this point where they meet is the center of the given figure. Now we are told that this bigger circle here, if you can look at it closely, it has a radius of what? Of 54. So I'm going to measure 54 on my meter rule this way on that line. So this is 54 here, and I'll place it at this point here. Right? So meaning that from this point here is what is 54. Now I'm going to take my compass, place it at this point to this point, which is 54, and I'm going to draw what? A circle, faint line first of all, this way. I'll draw a circle, faint line first of all. I hope you can see the circle. Let me make it more visible. Let me make it more visible. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is that I am going to measure another circle away from the center of this figure. From here, I'll measure 44. Start taking now. So if I measure 44 from this point here, from 0 here to 44 here, right? And that will be another circle because the circle is not concentric, it is eccentric, right? So that means at this point here, there's another circle here. Let me use my faint line first. It's not taken, and we're given the radius of that circle there to be what? Radius of 22. And I'm going to take my compass and I'll measure 22 here. And I'll place it at this point where they meet. And I'm going to draw another circle this way. Draw another circle this way. You can see that I've drawn another circle here. Now, we're told that these two circles are tangential to each other with a straight line. So I can just use my line and I'll measure a tangential circle from this circle to the next circle. It should be what? Tangential, right? It should be what? Tangential. From this point to this point. You can see that? Tangential. And I'll come here also, I'll do the same thing too. From this point to this point. Then take it this way. Tangential. You can see that? Tangential. Right? Now I can now thicken the circles. I will now what? Thicken all the circles that I have here in this fashion. So when I place it this way, I'll take it to that point, and I'm going to what? Thicken it. I'll stop here. Then here also. You can see that? And I'll place it at the center point also. in order to complete this one. You can see that. Now the next one is there's another circle here that have its own center, right? And the rest is given as what? Half of that is 27, right? If diameter is 54, meaning the rest is what? 27. So I'm going to measure 27 here, this way from 0 to 27. This is 27 here, right? Then I'll come here. Now just move it to that point. Ensure that it is tangential to the two circles here. You have to ensure that it's tangential, right? Now have this. This is what we have here. So the three circles, they are what? They are eccentric. So this, we use this circle to have this arc. So I'll just draw my vertical line here. This is what I want to do here. So at this point is the center line here. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. And towards this line here is another center line, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, and so on and so forth. Is that taken? Then here I can just place another center here because this is a well long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, and so on. Right? And at this point, another center here, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. So this is the three centers that we have here, eccentric, not concentric. So now, the next thing we'll do after we've drawn this out is for we to get the, this is the plan, so we to get the word elevation. And for me to get the elevation, I will just project this end line here downward. I'll project it downward this way. You can see that, and I'll pick a point. Let's say this point here. This should be my, it should not touch the figure. I'll just project it this way. Alright. Now we're told that from here to the base, which you can see from here to here is 88. So I'm going to measure 88 from 0 to, this is 88. Right? And I'm going to draw another horizontal line there. This way. Is that taken? Now the next thing I'm going to do is at this center point here that we have here, which I have drawn earlier, this center line here, I'm going to draw a line at an angle of what? An angle of 30 degrees. And when my t square, my set square is on my t square in this manner, right? Once I move it to this point here, right? I'm going to draw a line, and that line will get an angle of what? 30 to touch here. So what I'll do, I'll thicken it. Is that taken? So from here to be thicken to this point. Is that taken? And the other one will be coming up here to touch this. You can see that. Now the next thing is from this point here, I'll measure a radius of what? Of 56, as you can see there. Right? 56, radius of 56. From 0 to 56 here. And I'll place at the center point here, and I'll have this. Right? Radius of 56. I'm going to have this. On this point here. So taking. You can see that. So I'm going to thicken it just this way. You can see that. So I'll just move from this point. And I'm going to radius of 56. Right? And what I'm going to do is from here to be touching this last point here, I'll draw a line from this point downward this way, right? And I'm going to draw this to touch that point. So once you've done that, do not take this to touch this point here. So this is what we have here. Start taking. So let me take in this properly. So this is what we have here. Please don't forget to like the video and also comment if you have found it helpful. Now the next thing is for we to what? For we to develop this given figure. Start taking. So before we can develop it, we need to divide. You know this is a circle on its own. We divide the circle into 12 equal parts. First of all, let us start from here. So this is my point AA, which I'll give as my point what? My point 6. Is that again? That'll be my point 6 here. Point 6 at this point. Right? And I'll divide this circle into 12. How will I do that? Just take your compass, place it here, and you mark up this level. You come here also, you mark up here. You come at the center point here, you mark left and what? And right. So you now take your meter rule. No need of moving the point to reduce the number of lines I will have here. So from here, I'll mark here. From here, concentrate the center, I'll mark here. I don't want to draw lines to reduce the amount of lines I have there. From here also, I'm going to mark here. Alright, so what I'll do is this will now be 0, here will be 1, here will be 1, here will be 2, here will be 2, here will be 3, here will be 3, this is 4, this is 4, this here is 5, and here also is what? Let me do that too. If that is 5, then this point to this point here. Here also is what? Is 5. Right? So this is what we have here. I've divided that line. You can choose to draw your line if you want to. I can decide to start drawing the line if I want to, but it's not necessary. Right? I can just come here and draw my line to come to this point. Draw my line to come to this point. Draw the line from here to pass through here to come to this point. Then you do this too, which is not really necessary. So you divide it into 12. Now the next thing you do is this circle here too, you divide it into 12, but I'll focus on one other side here, right? I only divide because this is where it starts being tangential from this point here. Is that taken? So I'm going to divide here into 12 too. So when I take my compass, I'll place it in this manner, right? And I'm going to mark from here, up and down. I'll come at this top here, I'll mark up, right? I'll come here also, I'll mark here. Is that taken? Now once I've done that, I'm not going to divide each of this further again. So bisect here, come here, and also bisect here. So where they meet, I will now move it to this center point here. From this point, touch here, right? And from this point, touch here. Is that taken? I'll come here also, I'll do the same thing. So since I have from here to here, look at the logic. From here to here, same thing as saying from here to here. Similarly, this is what we have here, right? So I'll come here too. From this point, you can easily bisect it if you want to. Here, that is here, come here also, you bisect here. So where they meet, in that center, I can just take it here. You can see that. So I can call this point to be, the center point to be P, right? And here to be N, and here to be M. So again, similarly, here will be what? N, and here will be what? M. So this is what we have here. So I'm only focusing on this tree here. You can see that? So, so that is what we have here, right? Now you do the same thing here also. You're going to divide here. Now where this is tangential, where it meets here, we'll move to that level. I'll see what is going to happen here. So I'll divide here into 12 too. So if I take my compass and I place it from this center point to this point here, you can see that. I will come here, I'll cut up, I'll come here, I'll cut left and what? And right. That again. Then I'll come here, I'll cut here. Right? So what you do is you just pick the 2 points here and you bisect it in this manner. From here to here. So I'll strike an arc. I'll place it here also. I'll strike another arc. So where it meets, I'll draw a line towards the center, but I will not draw the line to avoid too much of lines on my diagram here. So I'll just stop here. Right? So what I'll do is I'll take my compass too. Instead of repeating the same thing, I'll start measuring them. So from here to here, right? It's the same thing as saying here to here. You can see that. Same thing as saying from here to here. So instead of you dividing everything, you can divide all you know here. So here will be my point A, my point B, my point C, point D. Here will be what? Point E, right? You can try to bisect it again, these 2 points here. E, these 2 points here to get the center from here to here to get F. So from this point, this will be my point F, right? I can come again from here to here, which is the same thing. This F and B. So to this point here will be G, and we have the next one which is already here, right? So EF, G, H, right? And after the GH there, or I can put it this way and say, before that I need to bisect here too. Does the same thing, or you don't have to bisect, just transfer the point from this point to the next point here, right? Or you just bisect, since this point from here to here, I had this, bisecting these two lines here. Let's see. Let's move it from this point. From here to here, this is G, H, the next one, and the next one. You can see that? So if this is G, H, here will be what? J, and here will be what? K. All together, G, H, J, and K. So what I have to do here, here is M. So I'll do the same thing because it's symmetrical. Whatever you see at the top will be the same thing at the bottom here. So I'm going to do the same thing here, right? So I don't have to stress myself. I just have to just transfer my points. So with this, to get the next E from here, this is another E here. Then the F from here, this is another F here. Then this is G here. And we have from here to here, to the center of the circle, to the center we have H here. We have our J again here. This is J here, right? And we have what is called K here. This is K here. Are we good? Then we can continue and just transfer the points continuously from here to here, this point to this point. Same thing as saying this point to this point, then here to here. We already have this here, right? Or better still, from A to B, to give us to this point here. So this point here, seen here, is also B. That again, then we continue. The next point we have C here. Then this is D, this is E, F, G, H, and what? J. This is G we have here. That's the J. Then we have the K. You can even transfer the point through this manner. This is K here, right? I can just come here. This is what? This is K also. Right? Can transfer it to this manner too. This is F to F here. This is E to E. This is D to D. And this is what? C to C. Then B to B. You can just transfer the point using your set square. That's what we have. Right? You see what I did? Instead of wasting your time, you just use your set square, pressing your T square, and you move to K. So K and K on the same point. J and J on the same point. I and H on the same point. G, F, and so on and so forth. You mark this point. Now what you do next is everything should be rotated to this center here. Right? So I can easily clean all this point out of here. I use this to get M and N, so I should just delete all this off. And this is what I'm doing here. Now deleting it, what I want to do is taking everything towards the center of the main circle. So I'll just take M to this center here. I'll take N to this center here. P is already there, then N also to this center here. Then this also to the center here. Right? This is what we have there. And we'll continue doing the rest. Now the king. K will be holding 1 and 2. K will be holding these two, right? Both up and down, the same thing because it's symmetrical. K will be holding here to here. 0 and 1, they're symmetrical. You can see that. So K will be holding 0 and 1 this way. You can see that. Then the next thing here will be J will be holding 1 also. So J will be holding 1. And 1 is holding J, H, and what? 1 is holding K, J, H, and G. So let's join this way. 1 is holding K, J, H, and G. That is 1 is connected to those points. You can see that. So 1 is holding K, J, H, and what? And G. The same thing too. This point 1 is holding G, holding H, holding J, and holding also what? K. Just like this what we have here. Right? So from here, so point 2 is holding also G and F, G and F. Then point 3 is holding E and A. Point 3 is holding F, E, and D. That's point 3. So holding F, E, and D. Then point 4 is holding D, and C, D and C, right? Then point 5 is holding C and B. Point 5 is holding this point C and also point B. Then point 6 is holding B and A, right? Point 6 is holding B and A. So you do the same thing that you did up here, right? So we know that point 2 is holding G and F. Point 2 is holding G and what? And F. Then point 3 is holding E, F, G. Just the same thing you did up there. E, F, and what? D. Then point 4 is holding D and C. D and C. When I mean holding, I mean connecting. Right? Then point 5 is holding, is connected to what? C and B. C and B. So 6 is just B. So this is what we have here. Is that okay? So all these points, I will move them straight down to touch what we have here. So move all these points here from P, this point P here, then N, so this is N coming down, then M is coming down, then K is coming down, J is coming down, H is coming down, G is down, F down, E down, D also, C here, B here, then we have the A here, right? This is what we have here, so I'll just write it this way. My A, point B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, M, N, then P. Is that okay? So this is what we have. So what I'll just do, I'll join everything together, right? So we're going to join everything together. How am I doing that? From this point here, this point 0, so here will be 0. From the inner point here, here is 1, right? So I'll just say point 1. I don't want the lines to be too much. This is how I got my 1. The next one is 2. This is how I got my 2. Then to 3, this is point 3. I'm tracing the line. Then to 4, this is point 4. Then to 5, right? This is point 5. And we have 6. So here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what? 6. This is all we have. So what do you notice? Let's start from M. MNP. MNP is connected to what? 0. So I'm going to take MNP to 0. So this is point 0 here. Then the next one 2. Then the next one we have K. K is connected to what? To 0 and 1. So K is connected to 0 and 1. Right? Then 1 is connected to what? 1 is connected to K, J, H, and G. Right? 1 is connected to what? K, J, H, and G. Is that again? Then the next one is 2 is connected to G and F. 2 is connected to G and F. Then 3 is connected to what? F, E, and D. 3 is connected to what? F, E, and what? and D. Then 4 is connected to D and C. 4 is connected to D and what? And C. Then 5 connected to B and C. 5 is connected to what? B and C. Right? Then we know 6 connected to what? Just B and A. So this 6 can be at the point of B and A. This is what we have here. Is that taken? Then the next thing we ought to be doing here is I'll draw a line, a vertical line, because all these lines they are inclined they are at an angle, they are not straight. So to get the true length of these lines here, we get them from the elevation. So to get this true length, I'm going to draw my vertical line this way. Right? So this is my reference point. I'll just put reference point R at this point here. Is that taken? So what I'm going to do is, you see the way I'll start with it now. So this is reference point what? R. So I'm getting my true length there. Are you ready? So we're going to start from this point here. Don't forget that the line is symmetrical when I divide but horizontally when I cut here. What is at the top is equals to what is at the bottom here in terms of the plan here. So we'll start. Start again. So we are going to start. I'm going to generate every point I have here. Right? Point P, you see this line you see here? We know that G, H, J, K, M, N, P, they are on the same line here. They're the owner of this line. Right? Then this is for F. For point F. This for E. This for D. This for C. This for B. And this is for A that we have here. Right? So all the M and F, they're all on the same line, and these are the reference points where I'll take my measurement from. So we'll start. Since we have successfully done this, it's for we to start developing. Now I'm going to draw a line, a straight line, or pick a point. Which this point I'm picking here should be my point 6. Starting from 6, because at AA here, as in the scene diagram, that is where we cut it open to spread it out. So at 6 here, right, that's my point 6, and I want to get my point A. We know very well that the true length from 6 to A here, this is where it's starting to become tangential. I will not take it up here, I'll just take it to this point where it starts being tangential here, and I'm going to place it here, right? So I'm going to strike an arc here, A. Anywhere here, that will A will fall in, right? That is 6 to A. So how will I get my point A? First of all, I need to get my 6 to B also, because 6 connected to A and B. So for me to get 6 to B, I'm going to take from 6 to B here. You can see that. From 6 to B here, I'll come to this line where I'll extend 6 to this point. Right? From that point, I'll mark my B. Is that taken now? So from B to 6. This is B, line of B to 6. I can actually just draw a line here if I want to. Line of B to 6. That's the true length, TL. True length. I'll just come here and I'll mark from this point here. I'll come to 6. And B will be somewhere around here and here. Is that taken? B will be somewhere around here and here. Now after I've done that, right? We've not gotten the point A and B. We'll just draw the line of A and the line of B up, and as this is symmetrical, so I want to bring them simultaneously. Since what is up is same thing as what is down. Now the next thing is, how can I get my B now? This is what I'll do. So don't forget, I can any given line. This line here is my line what? My line A. So at any given distance, at any line, I'll just draw it from 6 to what? To this point here. That'll give me my A. Now to get my B, you know that A to B from here. A to what? To B. You can see that? Is A to B, up and down. So I'll come from here. A, I'll strike an arc. This will be B here, and this will be what? B here. So this point where it meets here is my point B. This point where it meets here is also what? My point B. Is that taken? So I'm going to join those three lines together with my rule. So since 6 is connected to B, 6 is connected to A, 6 is connected to B also, they are symmetrical because to save our time, right? Now the next thing is we've done for 6, 6 is connected to what? B, and so and 6 is connected to B and A. The next one will be 5. So I'll come from 6 to what? To 5. And if I place that point 6, I'll strike an arc here, up and down. Is that taken? Then from B to 5, B is also connected to 5, B to 5. So what I will do is, up from here to B, you can see that. So I'll come to the line of 5. And this is the line of 5 here. I'll just draw it out straight. I'll draw the line of 5 straight out. So this is where the line of 5 is meeting here, right? So I can just extend it, the line of 5 out. Is that taken? This is the line of 5, the one under here. So we know that from this point to this point is B to 5. That will be the true length will now be, I'll come to the point of B here, or 5 here. I'll strike an arc this way. So where it meets here, are you with me? That will be the line of what? Of 5. So I'll just draw the true length from this point to the line of 5, to the line of B. So from here, I'll take it up if I want to. So this is for 5. So I'll just come here, take the true length from 5, the line of 5, to B. I hope you understand that. Then I'll come to here, from B, I'll strike an arc to cut here, and I'll strike another arc to what? To cut here. Is that again? So that point it cuts up and down will be my point what? This is my point 5 here. You understand me? If I come here, B cuts here, I'll come here also, B also cuts here. So here's my point 5, so up and down, right? So go to the next. 5 connected to B in this manner. 5 is connected to B, and also 5 is connected to B here. Now we'll proceed. So the next one is 5 is also connected to what? Point C, right? 5 connected to what? Point C. What I will do is I'll move from B to C, and I'll strike an arc this way up, and I'll come here also do the same thing down. And 5 to what? To C. This is 5.5 to C. I will come on the line of 5 here. I'm going to mark. This line I'm marking here will be for the line of C, right? So that means from here, this 5 to C, 5C. So I can just draw a line if I want to. This is from here to 5 to C, right? So from 5 to C, because this is the line of C, and this is the line of 5. So 5 to C. I'll place it at the 5 here. I'm going to strike an arc here, and I'll strike another arc here also. So this point you're seeing here will be my point C, and here also will be my point C. So let me remove this to avoid distraction here. I was using lines, faint line to join them to you understand that what we're actually heading to. This to this, to this, this to this, and to this. I'll connect them sooner. So this C, so 5 to C, 5 to C. So the next one, if I is connected to B and C, right? Then the next one is what? C is connected to point 4. So to get point 4, I'll just from here, from 5 to 4, I'll place it at 5, and I'll strike an arc up here, place it at 5, I'll strike an arc here this way, right? So C to 4, to get point 4, you need C. So from C to 4, right? C to 4, this is how it is. C to what? To 4. Can you see that? Then I'll come to the line of 4. I'm going to use the C to 4 here. So I'll come to the line of 4. I'll draw it out to touch this reference line here. You can even extend it out, right? So I'll take that 4. I'll mark it. This is C here. This is 4C. C to 4, 4C. So I'll connect it to the point of C. Right? So that is the true length. So I'll just move this from here to the C point here. Right? You can see that? From here to the C point here. And I'll come from C in order to get my point 4. I'll strike an arc here. Come to C also to get my point 4. Strike another arc here. So meaning that this point here is my point 4. And here also is another what? Point 4. And I'll continue. The next one is connecting them that way. C to 4. C to 4. Now we'll move forward. Now the same 4 is connected to D, right? The same 4 is connected to what? It's connected to D. So we'll move from C to D. C to D. The C to D, any of them you want to. The C to D here. I'll place it at C. I'll strike an arc up and down. So D is somewhere around this point you're seeing, right? So 4 to D. This is 4 to D, right? Any of them you're taking. 4 to D. So I'll go to the line of 4. I'll place it on that mark and I'll cut. So this line here is my 4D, right? So this is D here. So I can just join it. 4 to D, from 4 to D. You don't have to really draw these lines, but I'm just showing you. So 4 to D. This is the line of D, then to 4. Can you see that? And I'll come to this point here, 4 to D, from 4 to get point D, from 4 to get point D. So this point you're seeing here is my point D. This point you're seeing here is my point D, and I'm going to join them together this way. 4 to D, 4 to D. Now the next one we have here is my point D to get 3. I'm using my point D to get 3. So I'm going to place it from here. I want to get point 3, Abby. So from here, from 4 to 3, right? I'll come here. 3 here will be here. 3 will be somewhere around here also, right? So we need D to 3. D to 3, right? So I'll go to the line of 3. This is the line of 3. I'll bring it out, straight out, right? And after I've taken my D to 3, is that again? I'll come to the line of 3, I'm going to mark. So this line you're seeing here will be what? 3D. So I can just draw a line with not really necessary. This is D to 3 here, right? So from D to 3, so again, and I'll come to this D here in order to get 3 here. D here in order to get 3 here. So this line you're seeing here is my point 3. This line you're seeing here is my point 3, right? So I'm going to use 3 to get point E. You can see that? I'm using the same 3 to get E. So I'm going to come to D to E. You can see that? And I'll place it here. I'll strike an arc up. I'll come here also, do the same thing here. So I want to get 3E now. So this is from 3 to what? To E. Right? So I'll come to the line of 3. I'll strike another arc again here on that line of 3. So this line you're seeing here is my 3 what? 3E. So I'll just draw a line to touch E. This is E here. The line of E. 3E. You can see that? So I can just take from 3 to E. 3 to E. Can you see that? And I'll come to this point. I'll strike an arc this way. I'll come to this point. I'll strike another arc this way. Right? Then, so this point here you're seeing is point E. And this point here you're seeing is point E. So 3 to E. 3 to E. And 3 to E. Don't forget 4 is also connected to D. So we have that. So we have 3 is also connected to D also. Right? 3 is connected to D. Now we'll move forward. The next one is the E. We've gotten E at this point, and 3 is also connected to what? To F. So we want to get our point F with point 3. So we'll move from E to F. E to F. You can see that. I'll come from this point E and I'll strike an arc. I'll come to this point E and also strike another arc. Right? For me to get F now, 3 to F. So I'll come to the line of 3 here, place it on the reference point here, and I'll get what? 3F. So from here to the line of F here, I can easily connect it and just leave it. From the line of F here, this is F, so 3 to F here. Is that again? So 3 to F. This way. Now come from 3. I strike an arc to cut here. I'll come from 3 also, strike another arc to cut here. So this point you're seeing here is my point F. Here also is also my point F. Right? So 3 to F is connected together. 3 to F is connected together. All good? Now the next one is we want to get point G. So F to G. So we need point 2. So from 3 to 2. Because we need 2 to get F, to get G. So 3 to 2, I'll come here, strike an arc. I'll come here also, I'll strike another arc. Right? So F2. So F is connected to 2. F is connected to 2. Is that again? So I'll come to the line of 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also comment if you have any question. Line of 2. And I'll strike an arc this way. And that will be my 2F. So this is the line of F here. So I'll just draw a line if I want to the line of F. So I'll just join it from F to this point. So when I place it at this F here, I'm going to get 0.2. At this F here, I'll get what? 0.2. So this arc you're seeing here is 0.2. Here also is also what? 0.2. You can see that. Now 2 is connected to F. Faint line. 2 is connected to F. You can see that. Now the next thing is we have the same point 2 is connected to what? To G. Right? We need point G. So F to G. F to G here. I'll come here to get G. I'll come here to get G. You can see that. Then for me to get, I need 2G. So this is 2 to G. So I'm going to come here on the line of 2, and I'll mark 2 to G. So I'm going to, this is 2G here. So connect the line of 2 to G. This is G here on this same reference point here. Right? This line you're seeing here, this is the line of G. So I'll just join it. If I want to, not necessary. So from here, G to this point. I'll come here to get G here, and to come here to get G here. This point here is my point G, and this point here is my point G. Is that okay? Now the next one is, I'll just connect these two lines together, faint line, 2 to G and 2 to G. Right? Now the next one is to get point H, because we've gotten 2 to G, so to get point H, right? From G, we're going to get point H, G to H. I'll come from G to H this way. I'll come here also, G to H this way. Right? Now we know that G to H all together, G to H and 2 to G is connected. Is that the key? Also, G to 1 is connected. So I need to get point 1 also first. So from 2 to 1, I'll come here. I'll strike an arc. I'll come here also. I'll strike another arc. Right? So we need G to 1 now. So this is 1 to G. All good? So on the line of 1, so let me extend this to get my point 1. This is the line of 1, so I'll place it here. So that is what? My 1F there. Are you with me? On the line of 1, I'm going to get H. So 1 to G. So from here, this is 1G at this point here. So the line of G is also at this point. So I can just join it so I know the direction I'm taking. 1 to this point here. 1 to this point here. So 1 to this point here, because G is on the same line here. So now I place it here from G to 1. This point you're seeing here is my point 1, and G to 1 also. This point you're seeing here is my point 1, right? So G to 1 is connected. G to 1 is connected. Then the next one that we're having here is F. Don't forget, I've already drawn my line of F. I measured it earlier. So let me see G to F. That's this way. Or any of them, I mean G to H. Sorry. G to H. So you see that from here to H is already there. And from here, G to H is here also. So we need 1 to H. So 1 to H will be from this point to this point. And I'll place it on that line of 1. This is 1, I'll mark it here. So this is my 1H here. 1H. Right? So from this point, 1H. You know H is also on this line. So look at H2 on that same point. So I'll come from 1 to H at this point. Then 1 to H at this point. So this is my point what? My point H, and what? My point H. So let's join them together, faint line. and I'll join them together, faint line. You can see that. Then the next one that we have in here is from that same point 1 to H, you still want to what? 1 to J. So for me to get point J, I'll come here, measure H to J. I'll come here also, I'll measure H to J. And also H to J. Right? Now we will need 1 to what? 1 to J. So this is 1 to J. So from here, if I place it here, 1 to J, at this manner, I'll come to this point. This is 1. Then I'm going to mark. J will be somewhere around here. Right? So the true length will be from this point to the line, this same line of G here, of J. Right? So when I place it at 1 here, I'll get this. That will be my point J. When I place it at 1 here, I'll get my point J. So this point you're seeing here, this is the point J, and this is what? The point J. Right? So I can easily join these 2 points here, from here to here, and from here to here. You can see that. Similarly, we have J to K, because the same one is connected to K. So I need from J to K, J to K. You can see that. Now place it at this point, J to K around here. You can see that. And also J to K around here. So we have 1 to K. Is that taken? So we have 1 to K. So if I should come here on that same line of 1 and mark here to get point 1K, 1 to what? To K here. And hold together because K is still on the same line. So I place it on 1 in order to get my K. I'll place it on 1 in order to get what? My K here. This is my K at this point. K here and also K here. So I have to clean all this so that it will extend to this point. Is that taken? So I'll just join this to this point. 1 to K and 1 to K. Similarly, we're having the next point to be M. Is that taken? From K to M. K to M. Because I need 0 first. So I'll come from 1 to 0. Right? I'll come to this point. I'm going to strike an arc to get point 0. I'll come here also. I'll strike another arc to get point 0. Right? So we need K to 0. This is K to 0. From here, K to 0. And I'll place it at this point. From this reference point is 0. And if I mark here on this line of K, right? Line of 0 and K. So this is K here. So K to 0. This is 0. Right? And I'll take it to that line of K here. Consider that because K is still on the same line here, the reference point here. So I'll place it on K, right? On K to get my 0, and on K to get my 0. Right? So this point you're seeing here is point 0. This point you're seeing here is point 0. So I'll just join it together from here to here, and I join together from here to here. Can you see that? That is my point 0. Now the next thing is from K to M. So I come from here, K to M, right? K to M. I'll come to this point here, K, and I'll strike an arc to get my M at this point. I'll come to this point K, I'll strike here to get my point at this point here. Is that taken? So let me bring it down a little bit. So with that, my M will be on this point. So we know that's 0 to M. Is that taken? So from 0 to M. Right? I'll come to this point from 0. I'll strike an arc here to be on this point here. So on this line, I'll place on that point and take it to M. Can you see that? That straight line. So I'll come from 0 to M. So that place at 0, I'll strike an arc. This point here, where it meets here, right? Where it meets here is my point M. So I come again from 0 to M. This point where it meets here is my point M. So let me just bring it down a little bit. With my point what? My point M. Right? This is my point M here. Is that again? So I'll just join them together. 0 to M, then 0 to M. Now we'll notice one thing. K to M is a straight line because it's tangential. So I can easily use my straight line and just connect it together on that way. So let me just use a straight line to connect both of them. Right? K to M. So just a straight line. Taking it because it is tangential of the straight line. Sorry. And here also. Can you see that? So we'll proceed from there. Then the next one, we have M to N. Very small for M to N here. I'll come here also mark M to N. Just check an arc this way. I'll come here also M to N. I'll check another arc here. So we have 0 to what? 0 to N. That again, from this point here, I'll mark. So on that line, when it meets, just like we've been doing before, you place it there and you trace it to what? The point of N here. And you come to 0 and you strike an arc there where it cuts. 0, you strike another arc there where it cuts. So this point here, here, this is my N, and here also, this is my N. Start taking, and I'll just connect both of them, but we'll proceed first of all. Then we have N to P. So from N to P, right? I'll place that N to get my point P. I'll place that N to get my point P. So we'll move from 0 to P. The straight line. So I'll come on this point, 0 here, I'll mark, so that I can get my point P to this point here. So if I place it at 0, I'll strike an arc here. I place it at 0, I'll strike another arc here. So where they meet will be my what? My P. Here is also what? My P. So these are all the points I'm going to join together using my French curve. Right? You just join them with your French curve from this point. We're going to join here to here. You can see that. On this one, you join. Right? Can you see? And you also join all these points together with your French curve. You can see that? You can see that? And you're going to take this, you're taking this and you close it up. And you take this, you're taking it and you close it up. All together. So this is the development of what? Of this thing you're seeing here. Right? So if you have found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.